Well, hello there, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Last time we were doing the Arlecchino story quest, and yeah, so how do I even describe it? There's child causing trouble, or some spirit causing trouble, but it's all part of Arlecchino's plan to kind of lure out some of the her children, specifically Lyney, Lynette, and Fremine, to I don't know. She's plotting something. And we gotta hang out with Child for a little bit, and never let for a little bit. But yeah, anyways, it's a lot going on. I feel like we're toward the end of the story quest, kind of just learning a little bit about her, and
you have my undivided
the House of the Hearth and all that stuff, right? And I've been mentioning this entire time, a lot of references, kind of know what's going on already. And while part of it is because this quest has been out for a long time, and so like you just pick up stuff from other sources, but there's also that YouTube video that came out. It came out, I think, before the story quest, and it's on the Genshin Impact official YouTube channel, called "The Song Burning in the Embers." It's a full animated short, and yeah, kind of honestly, that video, you just need to watch like 20 seconds at the beginning of it, and that kind of just reveals the entire plot of the story quest, or a lot of what's going on in the story quest. So it's kind of difficult to recommend that video. Do you recommend it before you play the story quest? Do you recommend it after you play the story quest? Because again, it reveals a lot about this story quest itself. So I'll let you guys decide. I'll just let you guys know that there's an anime short about a lot of this that will kind of reveal a lot about this. And again, I'll let you guys decide if you want to watch it. I'll just let you guys know that it exists. Indeed, good video, recommend it. But yeah, we continue. The Knave is plotting something, and we don't know. We are scared for Lyney and the others' lives, and so we're just following her here because she told us to go here to this area. And yeah, so we're just following her, and we'll see how the story continues.
What is this place?
Somewhere long forgotten by everyone. It used to be a grand building. Now it's nothing more than a pile of rubble.
Yeah, I wonder who did this.
No one comes here anymore. Nor does anyone care about what once happened here. Although, this place does have something to do with the story I'm about to tell you. It was before I became a harbinger, and before Lyney and the others joined the House of the Hearth. Due to certain events, I first killed Knave and then her mother. And this is where it all happened.
You were the one that killed Knave?
Why? Because she had to, probably. I mean, what other reason would there be? Oh, she just didn't like her. Well, she just didn't like her and she killed her. Yeah, that's definitely what happened.
Patience now. Allow me to explain Knave's side of the story first. I'll start from the beginning.
Story time.
Knave was 6 years old when she was brought by her mother, Crucibina, to live in the House of the Hearth. From the outside, it seemed like a fairy tale. A thriving family made up of kind adults and friendly children. Crucibina was the Knave at that time, and the House of the Hearth was under her control. She was Knave's mother by blood, but she was also the mother to all the children in the house. Knave was happy here, for a time. But she quickly realized that being part of this family wasn't a fairy tale at all. It was a kind of purgatory.
Purgatory?
Exactly. The House of the Hearth takes in war orphans from all over Teyvet. But as for how to raise them, that depends entirely on the person in charge. Crucibina came up with a novel idea. She would teach the children to fight, force them to duel each other, and then crown as the king of the house the child who proved themselves most worthy of inheriting her title. It's difficult to estimate the number of children who died or were maimed in the process. There's little I can say about the ones who died. The ones that emerged with permanent injuries, on the other hand, well, they still served a purpose. They would be handed over to the doctor to be experimented on, or sent away on dangerous missions. Nothing more than tools to be used and then discarded.
So those were the experiments Clairvy was talking about. But what actually happened to her?
She already said that. She killed her.
Clairvy was Crucibina's daughter, so if Clairvy tried to convince her to stop what she was doing, Crucibina probably would have listened, right?
Despite being Clairvy's mother, Crucibina cared little for her daughter. She forced Clairvy to join the House of the Hearth only as a means to demonstrate her own impartiality as a mother, to prove that she treated all her children equally. Clairvy did try to convince her mother to change her ways, but it was to no avail. After her efforts failed, the only other option was to rise up and try to fight back. Unfortunately, the other children had already been thoroughly indoctrinated into the illusion of happiness Crucibina had created. Of course, there was one exception. Someone Clairvy's age who knew the truth about the House of the Hearth. Her name was Peruere.
What? Pereire? Pereire? Is that what you said? Uh-huh. Perry?
Wait, the friend that Clairvy mentioned?
Friend, huh? I suppose we can call her that for now. Clairvy was a cheerful and passionate person with a tenacious spirit. Peruere, on the other hand, was rather cold-blooded. Her cold-blooded nature allowed her to see through Crucibina's facade. Yet, it was also this cold-bloodedness that prevented her from acting against it. At least at first. While Clairvy longed for freedom, Peruere was convinced that, amid all the fighting and violence, she would make it until the end.
That's confidence right there.
Despite their
Holy.
differences, the two became fast friends, united by their knowledge of the truth. Clairvy told Peruere that she hoped to create a real family, where no one would be killed or sacrificed. There may have been a certain naivete to her ideas, but Clairvy proved her determination many times over. She tried countless times to run away, ask for help, or expose the truth. But her efforts only earned her beating after beating. The only thing that kept her going was her strength of will. Even with her body racked with pain, she would still stand on her tiptoes and open the window at night. She and Peruere would look out at the moon together, a fierce longing for freedom shining in her eyes. But one day that light simply vanished.
Oh no. What happened?
Her hopelessness resulted from a culmination of things. 10 years had passed. 10 years worth of failure after failure. She and Peruere weren't children anymore, but finding any chance to escape still seemed as hopeless as ever. It was during this time that Peruere suggested a new plan. If escaping was out of the question, why not take down the very person sitting on top of this throne of lies? Mother herself. Clairvy rejected that proposal. She claimed that, as a famous harbinger, Crucibina possessed an unimaginable amount of power. Trying to kill her would have an incredibly low chance of success. Clairvy never gave another reason, but Peruere could see it written all over her face. Clairvy still thought of Crucibina as her mother. Killing her own flesh and blood was a line she couldn't bring herself to cross. If she couldn't escape and fight back, then only one option remained.
Okay, so die? Oh, I can't kill the mother, and if the goal is to just try to kill the mother, which is the Heartbringer, then you don't want to do that goal. Then only one option remains, huh?
Precisely.
Death.
Death was the only way that she felt she could be free. It happened during a duel. When she arrived at the dueling ring that day, her partner turned out to be none other than Peruere. The very person that had stood by her side all those years. It was a fierce battle. But ultimately, Clairvy decided to let Peruere end her life. From that moment on, Peruere's journey was one written in flames. When the rain finally came and washed it all away, there she stood, the sole victor in Mother's endless game of slaughter. a trail of corpses strewn across her path to success. It was the very result she had predicted 10 years prior. Even then, she believed she would make it until the end. She wasn't surprised by the fact that she emerged as Mother's undisputed heir. Rather, her success left her with an inexplicable sense of restlessness. She was unsettled, and there was only one thing that could quell that sensation. Perhaps you two would like to take a guess as to what it was?
Well, she ain't here with us now, so, I don't think she made it. I don't know. Killing the person at the very top?
Who's Sabina, you mean? But...
Correct. This is the place where Peruware killed her best friend. A mere year later, this is also the place where she fought tooth and nail to kill the mother they shared. The moment she acted, any conception of what was right or wrong ceased to matter. It's one of the principles of the house. Only those who survive get to write the rules. Peruware won the battle, and became a harbinger herself. After which Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, bestowed upon her a new name. Arlecchino.
So the Perry Clairvy was talking about... It was you all along. You're Peruware. Arlecchino is just a name you got later.
This was your story as much as Clairvy's.
I left that name behind long ago. I must say, hearing it now does bring back memories. After I defeated Crucibina, the moniker of Mother died with her. I chose to forego the title she called herself, and even chose to give up my own name. I rebuilt the House of the Hearth under a new identity. Not only as Arlecchino, but as father. And that is where the story ends. Any more questions?
The Clairvy we met, though. Who is she exactly?
Yeah. Based on what you just told us, Clairvy wasn't a little kid when she was killed. So the Clairvy we met... Was she really a spirit at all?
I suppose you could call her an illusion born of flame. Her existence is like ashes to a fire. Something left over in the wake of blaze and ruin. You see, a certain power runs through my veins. It's not unlike a curse. My flames leave behind shadows of anything they consume. Of course, the chances of those shadows morphing into a sentient entity are exceedingly slim. Clairvy is a very special case. Clairvy died when she was 16 years old, but what emerged from the flames was her 6-year-old self. Her appearance wasn't the only thing affected. Most of her memories were lost to the blaze as well. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self. Lose 10 years' worth, however, and it would be like living in the past. Like returning to a version of yourself that never grew up.
No wonder Paimon got such a weird feeling when we were talking to her.
Perhaps I should put it this way. Clairvy is someone trapped in time. It may seem like she exists with us in the present, but she truly lives in the confines of her own past.
So if all of that is true, then you must have known about Clairvy for a long time.
Indeed. She's a rather volatile and unstable entity. Sometimes she would look after the children. She's even saved some of their lives. But other times, she would hide from me and become obsessed with revealing the truth about the house to anyone who will listen. Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new information they encounter is quickly forgotten over time. Your attempts to expose Clairvy to sunlight. They failed, yes? The reason is actually quite simple. In Clairvy's mind, the house is impossible to escape. and it is this very perception that traps her there. But no matter. All I have to do is kill her again, and all will be resolved. I don't anticipate so much as a single speck of ash will be left behind this time.
Wait! Paimon can understand why you might want her gun, but isn't there another way? So what if she's trapped in her 6-year-old self? She's still your friend! At least talk to her first!
It's too late for that. She broke the rules, and now she must be punished. That goes for Filial and Nentoy as well. She's had quite the effect on them. I hope you understand. The difference between Crucibina and myself lies in our formulation of the rules, not our policy for enforcing them. Upholding the rules without question is a trait we both share, because that is how a household should be run.
Did I just grunt?
Is this really what you want to do?
Whatever could you mean?
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Whether as a killer or as a father, there are two things that must be avoided at all costs: anger and sorrow. Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver. Well, it appears it's about time to proceed. Before we arrived, I told some of my well-behaved children to bring our troublemakers here by nightfall. I do believe I've kept my end of the deal. I give your friends quite a bit more time. As for what happens now, we'll just have to wait and see.
So we're just gonna wait and chill here? We're just gonna chill? We're just gonna, oh, what's good?
Here they are, Father.
You gonna execute him? Seeing something like that would actually be a first for me. Lyney!
Clarivy, yeah, right there.
I'm sorry. I heard about how you helped buy us more time. But I still failed. I couldn't find a way to fulfill her wish.
Huh? Are you... Perry?
Indeed, it's been a while, Clarivy.
Perry!
Shh, stay right there. I'm sorry to postpone our reunion, but first I believe certain scores need settling.
Father, let me explain.
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that, you must be punished. Overall, however, I suppose your wrongdoing is hardly the most egregious of the bunch, so I'll deal with your punishments later. As for right now, the more pressing concerns are the traitors among us.
By traitors? Do you mean us?
Father, let me explain. We didn't mean to...
Fultz, why don't you share what you heard?
Yes, Father. Secret Midnight Meeting number 3. Participants, Filial, Nantoy, Sato, Tadi. Nantoy clearly said, if only Father wasn't the one who took us in. Sato added, I'm sick of this life. I just want to live as a normal person. Filial was the worst of them all. She called us crazies and said a bunch of mean things about Father.
I did not! You're lying! Fultz is trying to frame us.
It's not like I'm the only one who heard those things. After that, you and Toddy and a bunch of other people started talking about Clarivy. You were using all those things Clarivy brought up as an excuse to question Father. We're birds locked in a cage. The only way out is to destroy it. That's what you said, wasn't it?
You little... You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you, huh? And you, Sheplo, have you forgotten who stood by your sickbed, watched over you, and changed your dressings? Come on, let's hear it then. What's your reason for all this?
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to die. You're our family.
Liar. You wouldn't be doing this if that were the case. So why? Why have you backed us into a corner?
We all live in the House of the Hearth. You know the type of work we do, Filiol. A single betrayal can cost dozens of us our lives. It's not like it's never happened before. That kind of thing is hard to forget. That's why the House of the Hearth cannot tolerate any form of betrayal. Ever since we came to Poisson, you've had 7 secret meetings. A lot of the things you talked about really crossed the line.
You've been spying on us for half a month? Wait a second. Now that I think about it, the move to Poisson was just a way to make it easier to spy on us, wasn't it? Because we were all in one place. You've had this planned all along.
Filial, Nantoy, I'm sorry. I owe you both my life. I owe Clairvy too. If it weren't for all your help after I got poisoned, I wouldn't be standing here today. If this were any other situation, I would do anything to repay that kindness, even if it cost me my life. But rules are rules. I'm sorry. My hands are tied.
Why? Why?
That's enough, Filial. We made a mistake, and we should own up to it. We broke the rules, plain and simple. And now we have to face the consequences. I'm sorry, Chapleau. Fultz. I'm sorry, Father. We accept our punishment.
Chapleau, according to the rules of the House of the Hearth, how should these traitors be punished?
All those who betray the house pay with their lives.
And so it shall be.
Father, please wait!
Something you want to say, Lyney?
Please reconsider, Father. What Filial and the others did, does it really count as betrayal? We all come from broken families. From the very first day we joined the House of the Hearth, we wanted nothing more than to make it a real home. But the truth is, none of us know what a real home should look like. I'm not saying I have all the answers. All I know is this. Killing Filial and the others may uphold the rules, but doing so will only bring us further away from being a real family than we've ever been. So please, Father, please, reconsider.
I agree with Lyney.
Father, please.
Lyney, you...
I also agree with Lyney.
An order once given cannot be rescinded. However, given the extent of your determination, I suppose we shall have to go about this a different way. Draw your weapons and face me.
Our weapons?
Father, are you referring to a duel?
Precisely. The rules of the house will not be altered. Traitors must be punished. However, resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me. Demonstrate a sufficient showing of strength, and I shall offer a concession.
Wait. Beat Father in a duel?
Impossible. Father is way too strong, even for Lyney.
Did you hear that, Traveler? Lyney and the others have to duel the Knave.
What should we do? Can they really win something like that? If they lose, those people from the house are really gonna be executed. Hey, are you listening?
Is executing that really what she wants?
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver.
Back then, she never actually answered my question. But that makes the answer pretty obvious, doesn't it? No? Yes? She wants to say goodbye? No, she doesn't?
On her face, she seems really serious about this. Guess that means there's no chance she's throwing the duel on purpose, huh?
There's no way the Knave will lose on purpose, although...
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior. And any disputes are less likely to escalate.
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the House of the Hearth.
He literally just told us what to do, huh?
What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
I like to see for myself what the fourth of the Fertility Harbinger can do. Oh, fantastic,
You're
yes.
asking to join the duel against the Knave?
If that's okay.
I'll allow it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our disposal, after all. All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less, and you may just lose your life.
What I should have done was I should have bumped up the volume on the music, because I've never really paid attention to this song, I'll be honest. 100% honest. Can I get out? Can you guys hear the music? Because I can't. Lower difficulty! Can I leave the domain? Oh, it might reset my quest if I do that. Alright, can you guys listen to the music? I'm going to try to be real quiet here. Oh, I really can't. Okay, hold up.
Why the hesitation?
I'll give you guys a quick chance to listen. What? What's Lyney gonna do? Oh! Snap! Lyney did good damage there. What the heck? Oh, I should probably switch to Farina. More HP.
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Are you alright?
Go, Lynette! Oh, snap! You got dunked on.
With these rising flames. Why?
If I really have to draw my blade, then...
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
You know, the further I get from her, the louder or the quieter she is. So maybe I should do that so more music comes through.
Watch out for Father's movements!
Oh yeah, I'm watching out for those movements, alright. Holy, she is quick. Holy. What are these things on the sides though? Are you looking at, are you seeing these? I noticed this during the fight. Because obviously I have 10-10-10 my Arlecchino, so I have to kinda, you know. I kinda have to, you know, do the fight, so.
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Am I gonna hear anything else from the music? It's okay, but it's like, you know. All right, let's actually do our thing. All right. Yep.
With a fall of darkness, destruction.
He actually has a lot of HP.
And voila!
After clearing next charge attack, only Scarlet. Okay. I got you. Ow. Oh, she doesn't charge attack very well, does she? Can I charge attack? There you go, I did it. I did the thing.
Right now. Over here.
Yeah, she isn't doing too much damage, which is good. I need to heal up here.
Right now.
Please don't die. I did a charge attack.
Turn now.
Right here.
Again, she does way more damage in the actual boss fight. I mean, might already be dead if this was the actual fight. Ah!
Spare your energy.
Emerge.
Running is of little use.
Right here.
Not bad.
Huh.
You've proven to be a worthy
Ow.
opponent after all.
All right.
Watch out for father's
Finish the
movements.
first part of the fight. All right. At least I think the first part of the fight is done. Cider of Two Worlds? No, Cinder of Two Worlds. Something. Perware? Is that? Ow! Unfair, but okay.
Blade is all that remains.
A sight to behold.
Indeed.
Right
Indeed.
now.
Second
Right here.
form, obviously. That's what you expect out of a boss fight.
This is where you fall. Transfixed.
Oh my gosh, did I get it? I got it. Ah, Hyper Beam!
For father's movements. Look out!
Oh, snap! Look at that. Cat just dropped down.
Emerge.
Uh-huh. Oh, he's almost dead. That was quick. I should pay attention to her, the music. Alright. Oh, I should also heal.
Made manifest.
Now's our chance.
Ah!
Over here.
Alright, heal it out. Heal it out. Listen to the song. Heal it out.
May I present?
Oh, okay. I was just trying to listen to the music. I wasn't even trying.
You should know better than to crowd in one place.
Oh, I know. No! I'm sorry, father!
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack.
Father, no!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
A crimson moon. I can't move.
Still, not strong enough to beat me. I believe we can end things here. It's not often that we get to enjoy the company of guests, after all. We wouldn't want things to get too out of hand.
Well, I do have a bone to pick. I've been waiting to pick this bone for like the longest time because I didn't want to spoil anything. Because you know how I hate my spoilers. First off, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, yeah. So I was spoiled about this fight. We didn't win the fight, right? We didn't defeat her. She kind of dunked on us. We didn't win the fight. It was one of the first fights we didn't win. And, yeah. We just didn't win the fight. So that's something I was spoiled about. I read somewhere that we didn't win the fight. And I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't read that. It would have been fun to know toward the end if, you know, do we win? Do we lose? Oh, we lost. But, no, yeah, no big consequence, obviously. Since we're all standing. And second off, the bone that I have to pick. One of my favorite things about Arlecchino was that she was never depicted, you know, Genshin characters, they always have to reveal a little bit of skin. They're either one wearing super tight clothes, you know, which presses up against their body that reveals, I guess, accentuates some parts, or they're wearing clothes that just simply reveals a lot of skin. Literally like all the female Genshin characters. And honestly, that stretches to a lot more than just Genshin. As kind of just a common practice, let's say, that's used throughout the industry a lot. For certain reasons, obviously. And I always really like Arlecchino for being one of those characters where, you know, obviously, she has to wear clothes, right? So she has to look a certain way. But like at the end of the day, you know, it's refreshing not having like a character that like is certain parts of the design is very obviously there to be revealing and, you know, there to cater to certain people. So it's nice that her design didn't have any of that, which is why one of the main reasons why I wanted to get full copies of her, you know, get her maxed her out, just because what's it? You practice what you preach, right? And if there's a certain, you know, outfit, character outfit direction that is going for a certain character, then I want to, you know, show that this is the type of character outfit that I like. But, you know, it's Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact, the developers, the developers will literally die. They will literally die if they cannot show skin or have tight clothes. Like, they just have to. They just have to do it, because if they don't do it, they will literally die. That's how I think. That's how I genuinely think some of these Genshin developers think. Because, oh no, no, the base Arlecchino just wears a full outfit, no revealing skin, no tight clothes. Nope. We have to do something. We have to do something. Let's make an entire boss fight just so we can make her have revealing clothes. I genuinely think. I mean, obviously it's kind of a joke, but part of me is like, it's not really a joke. That whole boss fight was just so that they can redesign her and make her wear more revealing clothing. I genuinely think that that's one of the main purposes of that boss fight. Wasn't even us to fight her. The Genshin developers, they just need to have, they can't, they'll literally die if they don't show skin on a character. So yeah, that's my bone to pick with that boss fight. That's my bone to pick. Alright, I'm done. My rant over.
Brother, are you alright?
Lyney.
Given that I am the victor of this duel, as agreed, the punishment stands.
No!
I never thought things would end like this.
However, everyone involved in the duel demonstrated a remarkable level of strength and determination. In light of this, I'm prepared to change the method of execution. Elwar, the bottled flames I gave you for safekeeping. Do you still have them?
Yes? I wasn't sure what they were for, but I've kept them super safe. I didn't lose a single one.
Wonderful. Then, in just a moment, I'll have you administer them.
Bottled flames?
Indeed. They're the product of a secret experiment. Under certain special circumstances, flames can be extracted from my person and preserved.
Ew.
Once ingested, searing pain will spread across every inch of your body. No harm will come to you physically, but your memories will be burned away. If you can withstand the pain. When you awake, you'll have forgotten everything you know about the House of the Hearth, and will be expelled from the organization. In other words, Administering this concoction will kill the version of you that grew up in the house, and give you a new identity.
So that means the young man that I thought looked familiar, the one that saw the outside the Palace Memorial, he must have been the same horror we saw in the execution. He wasn't killed at all. ... I was able to read that. Fantastic. I was actually able to read that in time. Oh, crazy. And I have extra time to talk about random stuff. Holy. Unless it's one of those things where it doesn't continue to the next phase, because the game glitches sometimes where it doesn't continue to the next phase. Oh, I got excited for nothing.
Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self.
When did she say that? Oh. No, if my understanding of the Knave is right, she really thinks of that as killing him. The horror that lived in the House of Hearth is dead. The one that remains is simply a normal person living out his life with his beloved. Even so, it's much better than actually ending their lives. I mean, obviously, yes, that's indeed a little bit better.
You're just letting us go, Father?
You misunderstand. Memories are extremely important. Once consumed by flame, the version of you standing before me will die, and our secrets will die with you. So no, I don't intend to just let you go, because the person who survives will be nothing but a stranger.
Even so, I won't have to live in fear anymore. I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry I let you down. But I really...
Don't cry, Filial. You haven't left the house yet, so there are still rules to be followed, yes? Remember what I taught you. Anger makes you impulsive, sorrow causes you to waver. Don't let yourself be controlled by your emotions.
Of course. I'll remember.
No, you won't.
Dry your tears, and go pursue the life you really want.
Yes, Father.
Chaplot, Foltz, Elwar. Take them back to Poisson. And bring Lyney and the others as well. I prepared 3 extra vials of bottled flames. As for whether to take them, the choice is yours. Goodbye, children. The next time we meet, I will no longer be your father. Thank you for all you've done for the house. I hope you have bright futures ahead of you.
Father.
Let's go.
Here, grab my arm, Lyney. I'll help you walk back.
Thank you.
Clairvy.
Can we talk now? I've been waiting for a super long time. You really are Perry, aren't you? I haven't seen you in so long. How come you're all grown up? Wait, did I somehow travel to the future on accident? Or am I dreaming? What a long dream.
Neither. You died, Clairvy. That's what happened.
You could have at least sugarcoated it a little. Look, she's that speechless.
If this really is Claire's younger self, then I would say she's probably had enough lies.
Oh. Okay then. Huh? That's it? You accepted it just like that? Yep. If that's what Perry says happened, then I believe her. Perry wouldn't lie to me. Plus, I don't really need to know why I'm like this. I'm more curious about what happens in the future. If you're a harbinger now, Perry, that means Mother is gone, isn't she? Can you tell me about it?
I want to know what happened to her. And to me.
You never stopped trying to defy fate. At first, no one believed you. You could only vent your frustrations to the moon. In fact, you often sought comfort in the night sky. You wanted to see the aurora, so one night we promised each other we would go to Snezhnaya to see it together. Later on, you tried to run away, but you were brought back each time. Mother spared your life, but it wasn't out of kindness. Instead, she decided to make an example of you by slowly torturing you over time. That way, the other children would know what happens to traitors. Still, you never gave up. Mother hoped that through ruthless duel after ruthless duel, she would be able to crown an ultimate victor among the children she raised. But you called on everyone to unite, to fight to a draw in order to reduce casualties. Your efforts may have only delayed the inevitable, but still. You gave them hope. You tried everything you could think of, but every attempt ended in failure. Still, you never turned your sword on Crucibina, and you never turned it on me. On that gloomy day, you told me, "For the last 16 years of my life, I've done everything I can to fight for freedom. But now, I realize that the only freedom I truly possess is the freedom to choose to die."
I never imagined I would say something like that. I must have been feeling really worn down. But somehow, I still think I understand. According to Mother's plan, only one of us was going to make it until the end. And I always hoped that person would be you. If I could do it all over again, I still don't think I would make a different choice. Even when I first met you, I knew you'd be able to do what I couldn't.
Is that so? Even now, I'm not sure I truly understand what kind of freedom you were trying to pursue. But as the head of the House of the Hearth, and as the children's father, I've tried to give them the most basic of freedoms. The freedom to choose their own fate. It's something I discussed with the Iudex of Fontaine. The children who want to leave the house will have their memories wiped clean of all secrets pertaining to the organization. In return, they will be allowed to live a normal life in Fontaine without being prosecuted for their past. Of course, I won't simply hand freedom to them on a silver platter. They have to fight for it and prove themselves worthy of it. Only freedom that is earned has true value.
That's more than enough. That's exactly the kind of life I was fighting for. You know, Perry, I think you're a pretty amazing king, and a really great father, too. I'm really happy that you're the one who took over the house. I guess I do have one regret, though. I still haven't seen the outside world.
Well, it just so happens that our dear guests over here have been to many nations and traveled to countless places. Perhaps they would be willing to tell you what the outside world is like.
Really? Of course! We've traveled all over the place. We've got so many stories, we could probably talk your ears off for 3 days straight.
Talk about the land of Animal, nation of freedom. Talk about the land of Geo, nation of contact. Talk about the land of Electro, nation of eternity. Talk about the land of Dendro, nation of wisdom. While I don't really like Nahida, I think the Sumeru arc was probably the best arc. So I have to talk to about that one. Also, I have a lot of things to say, but I'm probably gonna forget to say them. So let's hope I don't forget to say them.
I was always too afraid to skip Mother's fighting lessons. But at the academia, I bet you could do all sorts of secret things in class. Things that have nothing to do with studying.
Girl, you wouldn't believe.
I'm just kidding. Being able to study whatever you want without having to fear for your life actually sounds pretty great.
Talk about the land of Anna. I thought that we were gonna be able to talk about all of them.
You know, I used to dream of being a bard, playing the lute while singing into the winds of freedom. Even if there was no one there to listen, I would have continued to sing no matter what.
Talk about the land of Geo Nation. Oh, now we get to talk about Hydro, which is probably going to be the end of it.
Ah, that's where Mora comes from. I never knew that before. If I had some Mora, I would buy 3 new dresses. One for me, one for Perry, and one for Mother. It's just too bad Perry doesn't like wearing dresses. And Mother, well, she probably wouldn't accept something like that either. I guess I'd just have to keep them all for me then. I could wear a different one every day.
No, it's a good thing that Perry doesn't like wearing dresses. She's hot in pants. Oh, Electro, Nation of Eternity.
Those yokai you mentioned, what do they look like? I once saw a drawing of this one guy with horns on his head and a super scary face. Are there any yokai like that?
Oh, sounds like you're talking about an Oni. Yep, we've met one, and let Paimon tell you, they're not nearly as scary as they look.
You tell about the very nation event. Eventually, the company returned to Fontaine, the nation she once called home.
The situation was super dangerous. Lyney and Lynette were accused of committing a crime, and they were going to have to stand trial at the Opera Epicles.
Oh no, that must have been hard for all of you. What happened next?
Don't worry, we were able to turn the situation around super quickly. All thanks to Detective Paimon, of course.
How'd you do that? Come on, tell me.
Okay, so it was like this. After the failed magic show, we rushed to the scene and...
It's so funny. I just watched a movie called The Prestige. And Claire is listening really attentive to the Paimon's story about our time in Fontaine. She's really happy, like all her troubles have been forgotten. We're talking to essentially like body fluids. Maybe this is the first time she's ever been able to truly relax, but I'm not sure how long this moment can last.
Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new information they encounter is quickly forgotten over time.
As time passes, she'll probably forget everything we've told her and go back to being a scared little girl who can only hide in the shadows. I've been so busy thinking I hadn't noticed. The sun has risen.
Clairvy, you've worked tirelessly from the shadows to overthrow the House of the Hearth. Now, by my authority as the Knave, I shall announce how this matter ends. You are hereby expelled from the House of the Hearth. You are no longer tied to this place, nor are you bound by its rules.
You're saying that I can finally leave? I get to experience the outside world as well? Oh, I almost forgot. There's no getting older for me. Still, seeing who you grew up to be makes me really happy, Paraware. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
May we meet again someday.
Clairvy. She left so soon. Paimon didn't even get to finish her story.
I also have certain sentiments left unsaid. I wanted to tell her that the aurora I saw in Snezhnaya was just as beautiful as the ones in the pictures. But a shadow's memories reset at dawn. Had we delayed any longer, we wouldn't have had the time to say goodbye. Whatever regrets may linger, let them be lost to the coming of a new day.
Father?
It's Lyney! Hey, Lyney! What is he doing back here? Let's go check it out.
Father, the bottled flames have been administered. Filial and the others have left the house.
And you? What have you decided?
Thank you for giving us that choice, Father. But we never wanted to leave the house. It's the only home we've ever known. Lynette and Fremine feel the same way. They're recuperating back at the Hotel Bouffe d'été. But I decided to come back and tell you where we stood.
I'm sure you're well aware of the expectations I have for you. I want you to follow in my footsteps and become the next king of the house. Yet you seem to have different ideas. I must admit, I'm rather surprised by your decision to stay. There's nothing wrong with choosing to live a quiet life. Leading this organization is a heavy responsibility, one not so easily carried by someone forced onto the throne.
I just never understood what you saw in me. What made you believe I was deserving of that throne?
You're brave, talented, and, most importantly, you cherish your family. You would do anything to protect them, even if it costs you your life.
Speaking up back there was so brave of you, Lyney. It's all thanks to you that we were able to convince Father to back down.
You're a hero, Lyney.
Hero. Father is the real hero. Had Father gone all out during the duel, there's no way I would have walked away with my life. She must have had it all planned from the beginning, from the very moment she suggested a duel. I'm not deserving of that title. I'm not strong enough, or smart enough.
You're wrong. In my opinion, all you need to be deserving of the throne is conviction and the necessary strength to act on it. We may have different ideas of what it means to be a family, but you can hardly be said to lack conviction. What you truly lack is strength. For someone of your talent, though, that's something that will come with time. Even without that strength, you still chose to face me in a duel, even though the odds were stacked against you. That capacity to honor your convictions is what I truly see in you.
Father.
No one knows what the future holds, what tragedy or triumph may be in store. Being at the head of this organization requires the strength of will to face whatever comes. Caution will only hold you back. If reaching a certain standard were required to go after what you want, I would never have succeeded in killing my predecessor. Back then, there was still a considerable gap between our abilities. Strength may decide the ultimate victor, but those who let a lack of strength dictate their decisions or undermine their convictions will never be worthy of the throne.
I understand, Father. Thank you.
Children must grow up to surpass their parents. Only then can a family continue to flourish. The road ahead is not an easy one, so I'll ask you one last time. Are you certain you want to stay?
You've done so much for me, Father, and that kindness must be repaid. Plus, with Project Stuja at hand, there are many dangers ahead, and I, for one, don't intend to back down. Protecting my family at all costs. That's my conviction.
Then you're welcome to stay. As for Project Stuja, you need not be too concerned. If those cowardly businessmen and heartless dignitaries try to take us down, I'm prepared to teach them a lesson. Having members who longed for the light was our organization's last weakness. With those members no longer among our ranks, the House of the Hearth is like a spider hiding in the shadows. We need only wait for our prey to come to us. At present, our imperative is to use their plan to our advantage. In doing so, a crimson moon shall rise amid the frigid blizzards of winter. No demonstration of loyalty shall go unrewarded, and no sacrifice shall be in vain. As for the two of you, whether we meet again as friend or foe, I'll remember the camaraderie we shared in this moment. No matter how arduous the journey ahead, I hope we both reach our desired destination.
Wait, 2 days later? That's not it! That's not it! Can I sit here? Oh. Oh, it would have been cool if I was able to sit here, but I can't. Okay. Do I continue or do I talk about it now? What was there's a few things I was gonna say. Yeah, the whole thing about yeah, of course she's powerful. I don't think she uses a delusion, right? Because I think Child and let's say Nora used delusions, and Scaramouche used something entirely different, a mech battlesuit. But I don't think she used anything besides her vision. And I think she also is. I mean, it's kind of unfair to judge her because she also has. I thought we'll learn a little bit more about her. That's all I'll say. She has it's pretty obvious that she had like black hands from something, and they didn't really reveal much about her black hands. Something about a curse, shadows that she's leaving behind, and so that could also give her strength. And also the shadows is like, it kind of nasty. And those are, for me, those are just bodily fluids that she's excreting, and that makes people forget their memories. And that kind of grody.
Didn't Lyney say that Lynette and Fremine were recovering at the Hotel Bouffe d'été? Oh, Paimon wonders how they're doing. Maybe we should go check on them.
Is this? No. Okay, this is where you start the boss fight, but they haven't given us that boss fight yet. I guess we have to complete the quest. The video is over an hour long, but I think since we're close to the end, I'm just going to complete it. And once I complete it, I'll share my thoughts then, because I feel like the ending is going to be soon. Let's just try to complete it first, and then I can talk about more about what's going on, right? Indeed. Let's try to get this done.
Lynette? Fremine? How are you feeling?
Much better.
Whew, what a relief!
What about you? Are you feeling alright?
There's no need to worry. I'm right as rain. What does that even mean?
I knew you'd come out unscathed. Us, on the other hand, well, we've been bedridden for 2 days. I couldn't even turn over. Oh, and I wanted to ask, is Clairvy gone? Lyney and the other members have left Poisson and returned to the House of the Hearth. According to him, there haven't been any more sightings of a spirit roaming the house.
Yeah, where the sun rose and then like she was in the sunlight. I think that was kind of cinema right there. She bid her farewell under a blanket of sunlight. Her wish has been fulfilled.
I see.
I'm glad. Father came to check up on us 2 days ago and told us about what happened with Crucibina and Clairvy. Actually, I've met Crucibina before.
Wait, what? You've met the former Knave?
Crucibina died a year after Clairvy. It was during the year between their deaths that I joined the House of the Hearth. Crucibina had an extremely cruel and radical way of doing things. While she was alive, the atmosphere in the house was suffocating. When I joined, though, the experiment she valued so much had already come to an end, and all the people involved, dead and injured alike, were gone. Crucibina never talked about the past with us newcomers. A couple of months after I joined, Father killed Crucibina and burned all her files. With that, the names of all the people subjected to her experiments, Clairvy included, were lost to the flames,
along with the painful memories they represented.
Father took in Lyney and me a couple months after that, but she never mentioned anything about Crucibina or Clairvy.
It really seems like something she was planning to keep to herself. The last time you talked to her, did she mention why she kept it a secret for so long?
She said she didn't want us to be affected by the darkness of the past. She was worried we'd develop a false sense of gratitude towards her if we knew about it. The foundation of a family should be free of any corrupting influence. Whatever happened in the past, it has nothing to do with who we are now. And that's what Father told us in the end.
But I still thanked her for everything. It was only after hearing about what Crucibina did that I finally realized how insignificant our lives could have been. The members of the house meant nothing to her. To say that she valued them in any way, even just as a tool, would probably be giving her too much credit. If Father hadn't taken over the House of the Hearth, I probably would have already...
Don't think about that, she saved you in the end.
Father rarely brings up the fact that she saved us. She doesn't believe that being indebted to her should be what ties us together. But even if we didn't owe her anything, we would still choose to stay. Because this is our home. We may have arguments or times when we feel wronged. Some people may even choose to leave. But as long as Father is here, we will always have a home.
Whether the path before us is bathed in sunlight or shrouded in shadow, we'll follow Father wherever she chooses to go. So I wanted to say thank you for helping us make it through this crisis. Without your help, we could have lost a lot more along the way.
Oh, we didn't do anything, really.
Just invite us back as guests and we'll call it even.
Of course. You're welcome anytime.
Are Filial and Nantoy okay?
I actually saw them at a cafe this morning. They didn't recognize me. From what I could tell, they were drinking coffee and talking about one of the operas that started running recently. They seemed happy. If I had to take a guess, I would say they finally found the kind of life they always wished for.
When the hearth flame goes out, and that's a wrap. What? Fireplace furniture? What? What? A stately fireplace, most elegant and gorgeous, similar to one used in the House of the Hearth. It is said that some ancient legends hold a hearth to be the symbol of home, not only providing protection for the children at night, but also providing a path to a new life. Though, even if the fire has gone out, the children have now grown strong enough to protect themselves. Alright, I wasn't expecting a furniture piece like that, but I'll take it, I suppose. Okay, so honestly, that last scene, the only thing I can think of is, first off, it's very rare that the Genshin Impact kind of gives us ages for characters. Like, giving us the, what's it? Clarvia, what's her name? I already forgot. The little pink hair girl, she was like 16 when she dueled Arlecchino, who I'm guessing was also 16. And then a year later, Arlecchino killed Carabiner and became the Heartbringer. So she did it when she was 17. And then earlier in the quest, or then during that time, Lyney said how she burned all the records of the children that were killed and experimented on. So there was no records of like Per and the other girl whose name I've already forgotten how to pronounce. Okay, right. And then earlier we were talking to Lyney, Lynette, and Fremine, and then Lynette only had records, and Lynette was tasked to find records of, you know, the people who have been executed from House of the Hearth, and the records only go back 5 years. So if you do the math, if she burned the records, and then the records only go back to 5 years, and she burned the records when she was 17, then doesn't that confirm her age is 22? Unless I'm like stupid and I'm missing something. She's younger than me. Okay. I was expecting to get that piece of information out. I did not want to know that. I was under an impression, oh, you know, 30, 40. Oh, maybe she even older than that. Because, I don't know, Genshin Impact characters, you don't even know what ages they could be. They could be like 500 years old. They can also be 500 years old. You never know, right? So, yeah, 22. If my math is mathing. Anyways, yes, I mentioned this during the main event video, how it was a little bit of a Fair Bradley syndrome. That's, again, Fair Bradley syndrome. You have to watch Full Metal, or read Full Metal. Read Full Metal or watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood to kind of know what Fair Bradley syndrome is. It's basically what happens to Fair Bradley. I was expecting my favorite, one of my favorite gacha characters to be a Fair Bradley syndrome character, but it just so happened to be the case. Basically, Fair Bradley syndrome, just to kind of spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. You watch Full Metal and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. But basically, what happened to that guy, Fair Bradley, was exactly what happened to Arlecchino. And it's happened to a few other characters, and it's like a character trope almost. But yeah, it's something I mentioned earlier, and something that I predicted. I didn't exactly know, but the story quest kind of confirmed it. And there you go. And yeah. So, again, I really liked this character before I played the story quest. And now that we have more information about the story quest, what happened, exactly what happened, you know, is a very interesting thing. Like, I feel like Genshin Impact is one of those games where, like, the characters that we roll for, they want to make them, like, good, personable. Like, they want us to like the characters, right? So, like, Furina, oh yeah. Who doesn't like Furina? You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to market these characters and make them very likable. And it's very hard to make bad guys likable. You know what I'm saying? Why am I healing? What's making me heal? Did I press Z on accident? It's very hard to make bad guys likable because, you know, it's a bad guy. They don't do good stuff, right? People like the morally good characters. And so it's always hard to sell a bad guy, in my opinion, unless they're like really hot or there's some good reason to like them or they're really good in the video game. Like they have to be really strong. And obviously this character is really strong. But like that's why when I roll for this character, I knew that, okay, I was rolling a Fatui Harbinger. And so there's going to be a big chance I don't really like this character. And because I don't really like rolling for bad guys. Because usually bad guys do bad things. And I don't want to roll for a bad guy who does bad things. Right? It's really hard for me to like use characters like that. And I just prefer not to play those characters in video games. And so Scaramouche was the first, I should say, the second Fatui Harbinger that came out. And I think they did a really good job with Scaramouche and the Wanderer. You know, he was a bad guy. He did a lot of bad things. But how they decide to like kind of fix it was make it so that, okay, well actually he kind of put all that stuff in the past, right? He had that whole like character development arc. Was it Interlude Archon quest? I think it was. And he kind of like redeemed himself and he became like, you know, nowadays he's like a good character. Obviously very sassy, but like at the end of the day, you know, a good character. Helping Nahida out with whatever she needs to do, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. Is this a House of the Hearth kids? No, it's not. Okay. So when it came to Arlecchino, I knew that she was going to be Fatui Harbinger, and it was like risky. Is she going to be, what type of character is she going to be? Before like she came out. And I was really worried that she might be a character that I end up not liking. But then when I played, I mean, from the trailer, she didn't exactly seem like a bad person. She did talk about the children in the first like trailer, the one where it was like Lost Ignora's like funeral, right? We did see her. That was the first time we saw her. And she didn't seem like a bad character. Like she talked about children, and usually when you talk about children, the likelihood of being bad isn't that high, right? And so I was really worried about her being a bad character. And when we finished the Archon, basically the main Archon line in Fontaine, it was basically revealed that Arlecchino didn't really do anything bad. Obviously, again, the only one thing she did really bad that I guess a lot, like the main thing in my opinion, was kind of beating on Furina, like abusing Furina, trying to steal her gnosis or vision, and you know, not really very cool of her to do, especially now that we know that Furina is just a normal human, and that she was put in a really awful situation. And so having Arlecchino kind of dunk on her like that, like hindsight wise, yeah, it's kind of cruel. But other than that, she wasn't that bad. She actually was really helpful during the Fontaine Archon quest. And we know that and then from this quest, basically what we learned, I think the main thing we learned is that she's a lot less ruthless and heartless than the previous Knave, right? You know, the previous Knave, we already know what she did. Kill people, have people kill each other, and, you know, have the kids in experiments with the Torre. Maybe not the Torre, but the doctor, you know. And so she was really bad. But the new Knave, I think what they really wanted to make her, Arlecchino, they really made her as like a bad guy, but like a bad guy in a good way. You know, she is still Fatui, she still kills people. Like she killed the people who were kind of abusing Lyney and Lynette, right? So I don't shy about her being a ruthless killer. But really, she only leans to killing bad people, right? And it was revealed in this Archon, in the story quest, that she doesn't kill any of the House of the Hearth kids. She kills them in her own way, which is to kind of remove them by deleting their memories. But at the end of the day, like she's saying is, oh, I killed them. But I mean, that's like one of the nicest things that she can do. It's like, well, if those kids don't want to be with me, I guess I just have to let them go, right? And I think that's like one of the main things is that she doesn't want to be as bad as the last leader. And so, while she does want to lead the House of the Hearth, because that's what she was tasked to do by Shesnaya people, she's like, you know what, fine, I'll do it my way, I won't kill people. And so, like, in the end, I think she is like, yeah. I don't want to take away the fact that she does kill people, but she does kill the bad people. And she doesn't kill innocent people. And so, even though she is a bad guy, can you really call her a bad guy? And so what I'm trying to say is, I think they did a really good job on this character. I'm happy of her direction, like her story, how her direction of the story is. Obviously, she can still be a bad guy later on, but for now, I think the direction, I'm really happy with where they brought her, the direction. Again, I don't really like bad people, and she seems like a really good bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of bad guys I like. And of course, that's why I'm just super excited about playing the story. But I have a treat for you guys. Yes, I did max her out off camera. You know, I did do all this stuff on camera. So there isn't really anything special I could do, right? Well, you're wrong. You're wrong, because I do have a treat. I do have a treat for you guys at the end of the video. If you made it this long, her weapon. So I have her max, right? Her talent and everything is max. Her constellations are max. But I can still make her stronger. Her weapon, I can technically max this out. And guess what, guys? Yep, you better believe it. I rolled 2 copies of her weapon during her first banner. Yes, I have not refined her weapon. I've been waiting to finish recording this video to refine her weapon. Yes, I'm playing the long game. So finally, I'm gonna refine her weapon. I don't recommend doing this if you're free to play. I don't recommend doing this if you're a whale. To be honest with you, I think this is a really stupid waste. This is a really waste of money. That being said, though, again, I have to practice what I preach, and I really like this character. I think they did a really good job of design. I think they really done a really good job with the story. Again, I didn't know this whole thing about her not killing her House of the Hearth kids. I was always under the impression that she killed them, but she didn't. And she even made a deal with Neuvillette to make sure that they live good lives. So, like, again, she's just great. She is just great. Let's refine this weapon. A little bit of extra damage. Just a tiny bit of extra damage. Honestly, it's 8% more damage increase. It's nothing. Honestly, it's such a waste of money. It's such a waste of money. But at least I can say I did it. Do I plan on maxing out her weapon? Yes, I do plan on maxing out her weapon. It's going to cost me a lot of Primo Gems. But you got to practice what you preach, right? Is this the perfect character? I think so. Anyways, that's it. I've been stalling. I've been talking a lot. But again, I just have to talk a lot about this character because I really like this character. And I'm going to end this video here. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And next time I have to do, like, I didn't need to do that. I just want to do this because it's been too long. I need to refine that weapon. I need to learn more about this character. But it's gone. It's done. Now I can actually do stuff that I need to do. And maybe next time I'll be doing this. So, thank you so much for watching. Again, Arlecchino is, I really like this character. So I was happy to be able to record this finally. And learn more. There's still more to learn. Like, why does she have black hands? I think that's still a mystery. What's her curse? What's her curse? Why can we use her shadows? Why does her shadows turn into people? And why can people use them to forget their memories? Her bodily fluids have powers, apparently. So there's still a little bit left to be discovered. Indeed. So thank you so much for watching, you beautiful the way you are. I'll catch you in the next Genshin video. Yup.